Hey everybody, so today I'm going to give my reactions and predictions for the 2024 Oscars. So, of course, the 2024 Oscars is the 96th annual. It's covering any movie released in the year 2023. So, yeah, the nominations were recently released, and I'm going to go through them, tell you who I think will win, and I'm going to do who I think will win and who I think deserves to win, because there's a difference sometimes between who actually will win and who I think deserves it. So yeah, let's get into it. The first category, as you can see, are on the official Academy website, actor in a leading role. So the nominees are Bradley Cooper in Maestro, Coleman Domingo in Rustin, Paul Giamatti in The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction. So I think this one is one of the easier ones to predict. It pretty much is locked for Cillian Murphy. I think Paul Giamatti is the only other one who has a chance of winning. So it's kind of like a two-horse race between the two, except I think Cillian Murphy has the better horse. I think he's got the best shot of winning. He gives the best performance of the year, in my opinion, so I think he deserves it the most. But I wouldn't be surprised if in the end they gave it to Paul Giamatti, because this is Cillian Murphy's first nomination, and I think Paul Giamatti has had one before. So I think maybe Paul Giamatti will get one just because he has that name and he's been around for so long and he's been leading for so long. Cillian Murphy hasn't always been the leading man. So yeah, but I think in the end he'll win. I think in the end he gives such a good performance in Oppenheimer and the movie relies so heavily on that he's got the push to win. As for the other nominees, I think they're all fine. Maybe Bradley Cooper is doesn't really deserve to be here. I wasn't a huge fan of his performance as Leonard Bernstein in Maestro, but that's usually what happens. You always get the Academy loves biopic movies and actors and actresses who play the people in the biopics. And I like the Jeffrey Wright nomination too. He's been doing it for so long. He's been in so many huge franchises that I love that it's time for him to finally prove that yes, I am a great actor too. Not that he has to prove it, like he is a great actor, but it's good for people to see he is and that he can get an Oscar nomination. But in the end, I think Cillian Murphy will win. So let's move on to actor in a supporting role. The nominees are Sterling K. Brown in American Fiction, Robert De Niro in Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling in Barbie, and Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things. So this one is kind of tough to pick, honestly. I think out of this five, I think three of them can win it. I don't think Sterling K. Brown's going to win it. I don't think Ryan Gosling's going to win it. I don't think Ken in Barbie. I don't think that's not even one of Ryan's top 5 or 6 roles. You know what I mean? He could have been nominated. He got nominated like 15 years ago for Half Nelson. I don't know if he's got nominated since. I can't think off the top of my head. But I would rather see Ryan Gosling win for something that I think he actually deserves it. I don't think he deserves it for Ken, and I think he probably knows that too. You can see his reactions to all the "I'm just Ken" stuff, and I don't know. So who do I think will win out of Robert De Niro, Robert Downey Jr., and Mark Ruffalo? I think Mark Ruffalo's got a good shot. I would love to see Robert Downey or Robert De Niro win because he's probably my favorite actor of all time. Ryan Gosling's in the top 5, but Robert De Niro is my favorite. But I think Robert Downey Jr. will probably win it. It's like one of those situations where he's been around for so long, and of course he's Iron Man. He saved the Marvel franchise. You know what I mean? So I think he'll probably get it. Partly because it's one of those recognition Oscars that they do sometimes, but he also gives one of the best supporting performances of the year. I do think Robert De Niro gave it better. His character is so evil, it's so memorizing. But I think Robert Downey Jr. will win. But for me personally, I'd give it to Robert De Niro. But Robert Downey Jr. is a fine winner in my opinion. Let's move on to actress in a leading role. Nominees are Annette Bening in Nyad, Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Huller, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Huller or Hewler, Sandra Hewler, I guess, in Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan in Maestro, and Emma Stone in Poor Things. This one is, I think this one's pretty much a two-horse race in the most literal sense. it can either go to Emma Stone or Lily Gladstone. It's probably this type of thing that you voted on in one day, it'd be one person, then the next day it'd be a different person. Who do I think will win? I think Emma Stone already won once, so that helps her in some regards, but also doesn't help her in other regards. And Lily Gladstone, being the first Native American actress nominated, helps her in some regards and doesn't help her in other regards. So I think out of the two, I think Emma Stone will win. I think she will become a two-time Oscar winner. For someone, I think she's like 31 or 32, maybe younger than that. Someone at her age being a two-time Oscar winner is extraordinary, and she deserves it. She's a great actress. I think Lily Gladstone will, now that she's been in a huge movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, she's going to get a lot of good roles in the future. I think she'll be back, but I think Emma Stone will win this one, and I think she deserves it. She was pretty good in Poor Things. For the other nominees, I know a lot of people are mad at both the Nyad nominees, but it's fine, you know. Margot Robbie, people are mad she didn't get nominated. She did not deserve to get nominated. I'm sorry. But Barbie was not a top 5 role of the year. It's just the truth. But as for Huller and Carey Mulligan, they're both fine. It's pretty much one of the best overall categories in terms of like who deserves to be nominated, in my opinion. But I think Emma Stone will win. Next, for actress supporting role, the nominees are Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks in The Color Purple, American Ferrera in Barbie, Jodie Foster in Nyad, and Divine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers. So who do I think will win? I think honestly, I think it's a joke that American Ferrera got nominated for Barbie. Like, I was not watching that movie and thinking, that's a supporting actress nominee right there. Like, no, that's just insane nomination. For Margot and Greta Gerwig not to get nominated, you're like, fine, that kind of makes sense. But then for her to get nominated, it's insane. So she's not gonna win. I don't think Jodie Foster will win. She's already won one before, and she's recognized as a great actress. I think it's again a two-horse race between Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer and Divine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers. I think Divine will end up winning because her role in The Holdovers is just so emotional and inspiring and powerful. And I think, you know, Christopher Nolan kind of has this reputation not knowing how to handle women in his movies. And I think he improved in that in Oppenheimer a little bit, but I still don't think that, you know, Emily Blunt and Florence Pugh were given really the leashes to go all the way with their performances. So I think Divine Joy Randolph will win, and I think she deserves it. Next up is animated feature film. The nominees are The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Ni Mana, I never heard of that one, Robot Dreams, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So this one is pretty clearly going to go to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse won it like in 2018. So I'm pretty sure Across the Spider-Verse will be able to win. But who knows? Maybe they'll give it to The Boy and the Heron for Hayao Miyazaki because, you know, he's been doing it for so long. And I'm pretty sure this is only his first nomination for animated feature. I'm probably wrong on that, but they might give it to him, you know, just because he's been doing it so long. And I think he said this was his last one, I'm pretty sure, but I think he's still doing other ones. So it could be him. Don't be surprised if it is, but it's probably going to be Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Next up is cinematography. The nominees are El Conde, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. This one, This one, I honestly think it couldn't go to anyone here, honestly. Each one of these movies does cinematography so well. They're all kind of different genres, so they all have to do it differently. But I think Oppenheimer will probably win. Oppenheimer is for sure going to clean up at this Oscars. They're probably going to get like 7 or 8 wins. So I think Oppenheimer will win this one. If I had to give it who I think is the best, I would probably say Killers of the Flower Moon. But I think Oppenheimer will win. Next up is costume design. nominees are Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. This is a very good category too. Very, very good. I think that this one will probably go to Poor Things or Barbie. I think Barbie or Poor Things will probably win this one. They're gonna give Barbie at least one award, no matter what, just because it's Barbie, biggest movie of the year, and I think this will be the one that it gets. But I think Poor Things probably deserves it because their costume design was insane. But I think Barbie will probably win it. Directing, the big one of the big ones. Anatomy of the Fall for Justine Triet. Killers of the Flower Moon for Martin Scorsese. Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan. Poor Things, Yorgos Lanthimos. And Zone of Interest for Jonathan Glazer. This one, it's between Martin Scorsese and Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan hasn't won a directing Oscar yet, and this is like his magnum opus so far in his career. So I think he will win. I would love to see Martin get another one, because he doesn't have a lot of time left to direct more movies. But I think Christopher Nolan will probably win this one easily. He deserves it. I'm gonna skip documentary, feature film, documentary short film. Film editing, we got Anatomy of the Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. This one, this one, honestly, I think this one could go to The Holdovers. But I think it will probably be Killers of the Flower Moon because Thelma Schoonmaker, she's a legend. She's been doing this for as long as Martin's been directing movies. She's been there. So I think she will win, but I could see The Holdovers getting it, or Oppenheimer, or Poor Things, or Anatomy of a Fall. Each one of them is very good. They could all get it. But I think Killers of the Flower Moon, Thelma Schoonmaker will get it. International feature film, Perfect Days, Il Capitano, Society of Snow, The Teacher's Lounge, or Zone of Interest. Zone of Interest will probably win it. It's one of the most highly regarded movies of the year, so I think Zone of Interest will probably get it. Makeup and hairstyling, we got Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Society of the Snow. Society of the Snow, sorry. I think Maestro might win this one. This might be Maestro's only one. The makeup and hairstyling was very good. I won't deny that. I wasn't a fan of Maestro, but I think they could get this one. I also think that Poor Things and Oppenheimer both have a good shot, but I think Maestro will win it. My personal pick, I would love to see Oppenheimer get it, but I think Oppenheimer is going to get enough other ones, so I think Maestro might get this one. Music original score, we got American Fiction, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. So I think John Williams, what I saw something like this is his 50th or something Oscar nominations. That's insane. But I think Ludwig Göransson is going to get it for Oppenheimer. His score is unbelievable. It's insane how good it is. I've been listening to it on repeat since the movie came out, since even before that. And I've loved Ludwig ever. He's got his start on Community, my favorite TV show of all time, like 15 years ago, and he was really good on there. He's done music with Donald Glover for Childish Gambino. He's done a bunch of movies. But I think this is a very good score. I think he's going to win this one easily. Next up, we got Original Song, The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot. That's pretty funny. Flamin' Hot's an Oscar-nominated movie. I'm Just Ken from Barbie. It Never Went Away from American Symphony. Wazikazi from Killers of the Flower Moon. I don't know how to pronounce that. And What Was I Made For from Barbie. So I think this one will go to What Was I Made For, Billie Eilish. She won for No Time to Die, I'm pretty sure, back in 2021. But, if I'm Just Ken wins, I honestly think that's also a joke, it's just like a joke song. It's not serious in any way. But so I think What Was I Made For will win. But if I'm Just Ken wins, that's kind of crazy. Okay, next up we got, I'm not going to do Best Picture yet. I don't know why I say it. We'll do Best Picture last. Next up we got Production Design. Nominees are Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. So yeah, again, these are five very good picks. They could all win it. But I think Oppenheimer will get it. The way they were able to make what's it called? His New Mexico place. I forget the name of it. But Trinity and all that, it all looks great. Everything in the production looks great. The bomb, everything looks great. So I think Oppenheimer will get it. I think Barbie could also get this one, but I think Oppenheimer will get it. I'm gonna skip animated short film. I'm gonna skip live action short film. Sound, we got The Creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1. They actually announced that they're removing the Part 1 from the title, so I don't know, maybe the Academy just ignores that. Oppenheimer and Zone of Interest. Sound design, Oppenheimer will probably get this one, whenever Oppie's having his little visions and you see the everything going around, it's crazy, the sound's insane, the explosion sounds insane, sound design is very good. So I'm sure Oppenheimer will get this one. I could see The Creator also. The sound design was very good. I'm glad The Creator got nominated, but I think Oppenheimer will get this one. Visual effects, we got The Creator, Godzilla Minus One, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, and Napoleon. For visual effects, I'm pretty sure Godzilla Minus One will win this one. I'd be surprised if Godzilla Minus One didn't win, but I could also see The Creator getting this. The Creator looked beautiful. And the CGI looked great, but I think Godzilla Minus One will get this one. Adapted screenplay, we got American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. So I just want to say there's lots of people who are like, Barbie shouldn't be in the adapted, it's based off a doll. That doesn't matter. If anything is based off of previous existing stuff, it's an adapted screenplay. It doesn't mean it's any less. People think that adapted is a lesser category. It's not. It's just different. And in fact, I think it's probably very, encouraging to see that something as simple as a plastic doll can create such a insane, screenplay. So there's nothing wrong with being adapted screenplay. But who do I think will win? Oppenheimer again. Oppenheimer's going to clean up. So I think Oppenheimer is going to get it. The script is very good. Nolan wrote it in the first person. So yeah. Next up we got original screenplay. And the nominees are Anatomy of a Fall, Holdovers, Maestro, May, December, and Past Lives. This is May, December's only nomination. One of the best movies of the year. Only got one nomination. And it's pretty easy to see why. Because it's a movie about how exploitative Hollywood is. And in my May December review video, I said I'd be surprised if none of the three actors got nominated. And guess what? None of the three got nominated. That's insane. I could see any one of them sliding into one of the spots in their categories. But anyway, so who do I think will win original screenplay? I think it will probably be The Holdovers. No, it's going to be Anatomy of the Fall. It's going to be Anatomy of the Fall. Anatomy of the Fall is going to get at least one award, and I think that it will get this one. So that's now let's go back to Best Picture. So for Best Picture, the nominees are American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. So who do I think will win? It's going to be Oppenheimer. If Oppenheimer doesn't win this one, that's insane. I'd love to see Killers of the Flower Moon. I love Martin, but it's going to be Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer's going to clean up at least 5 or 6 awards. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll come back to this video, I guess, after the awards and see how many I got right. See ya.